Gang. Hey, 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 and aloha, gang. Just wanted to let y'all know as many of you guys saw on the community tab, Discord, Facebook, a little bit of everywhere. Hawaii had, and sorry, I've got dogs upset. Okay, Hawaii had an amber alert, what we call a Maile alert, Maile amber alert. And happened this morning. It was canceled literally in minutes. And it was the greatest news in the world when it works. These Amber Alerts work, gang. They seriously work. I didn't even have time to finish the poster. I literally had just finished the poster and was going to go live with all and update you guys on everything that was happening. And bang, HPD informs everyone that both children had been found and found safe. HPD is currently live right now with a press conference, and we're going to go back and we're going to be a little behind, okay, on it, but we're going to go listen to it. First, though, hey, 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 how is Miss Thea? How you doing? And I couldn't believe when I woke up this morning, Robbie was live, so I got to come in and say hi to everyone. It was so nice. And there's Miss Cristola. Love you, girl. And also, I'm going to bring this up, and people are going to be popping in, and I'll stop it every now and then as I see people go up. Your video, I was thinking, because I was like, wait, is she talking the Q&A one from earlier? Or, okay, you are talking the Q&A one. And I've got to still watch all of that. I'm actually going to listen to that as I am driving in. I'm going to go see a movie tonight. I think it's Argyle, it's called. And I'm going to listen to it as I'm driving in to the movie theater. So, but let's see what we can do on catching everyone up, because this, just a quick background before we start actually following the press conference on this. So it gives people some time to get here, notifications to get out. This morning, when the Amber Alert, the Maile Alert went out, it was for two young boys, a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old, who have been missing since Sunday. They were last seen with their Hanai dad. Now, in Hawaii, we call people Hanai for kind of like, you know, that adopted feeling you get? Okay, when you have a family friend who's like family, that's Hanai. Okay, so this guy was a Hanai dad to them. Okay, probably dating mom or something like that, and had that very, very close relationship. And might as well have been dad. I'm Hanai auntie to many, many kids and all. So they went missing, okay, on Sunday around 11:40 in the morning. They were last seen getting into a gray Odyssey with him. I don't know if there just was no updates after that. It was in the Kalihi area. And from there, I guess decision made today. They were worried about the safety of the kids, so they did the Amber Alert. Now, guys, I'm being realistic with you. I can count on one hand the number of times that I remember an Amber Alert being done in Hawaii. We are not like Texas or something where you're used to them happening routinely, because they're used very, very often. And I believe Amber Alerts do save lives. Okay, proof in the pudding today. I mean, within less than 30 minutes, I would say, I don't know the exact amount of time, they found them. So that's our background there. So let me go ahead, and we're going to see, yep, 1,000% they work. And also, I listened to some of this and I was really impressed. HPD is doing amazing job with these press conferences and how they're keeping the community at large informed. I really appreciate everything. There are no closed captions. So sorry, guys, we don't have closed captions, which I do know makes things rough because it can sometimes be hard to hear things. So let me put both earbuds in before we start this. But at least you guys can hear. And this is, honestly, gang, hey, Tim, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the type of communication we need to see more of around the whole country. We talk about CPS here in Hawaii, okay, and communication and information and stuff like that. This is what HPD is doing, and they're doing it so well right now. Okay, this is the second press conference I played in less than a week. And so let's start this. I'm not sure how long it was because it was still going on when I decided I had everything set up to hit live. So we're going to start it from the beginning.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Dina Tamis of the Criminal Investigation Division's Homicide Detail. I just want to explain that I'm the commander of the Homicide Detail that has 4 investigative units under me, which includes the Homicide Detail.
I'm going to stop something right there. Hawaii has we have a different way of speaking. Okay. We call it pidgin. And you can hear it in people. Many times I've learned how to talk mainland style, mainly since I came from the mainland when I was young, but I can go into pidgin pretty easy. But you're going to hear that in the tone of voice and stuff. So those of you on the mainland, if you're having problems or a word is mentioned that you don't quite get, let me know. Okay, just real quickly say, hey, local, can you stop? What's this? Okay, let me know so I can make sure. It also takes a little bit more getting used to catch some of the words.
Strategic Enforcement Detail, the Missing Persons Detail, and the Cold Case Unit. Today, I would like to discuss the recent missing person investigation. Last night at approximately 11 p.m., a female reported that on the day earlier, Sunday, February 11th, at approximately 11:40 a.m., she allowed her 2 sons and her to go with her ex-boyfriend to Pololo. They left in her 2001 gray Honda Odyssey van, but had not returned. At approximately 7:30 p.m. last night, one of the sons called his mother and said that they were on the way home. During the call, the mother and her ex-boyfriend argued before the call was cut off. Despite repeated calls to his phone, there was no answer. At the time of the initial report, there were no reports of child abuse or imminent danger to the children. Today, at about 10:30 a.m., additional information was discovered. The boy's mother learned from family members that her ex-boyfriend had struck one of her sons in his face. She added that he had never taken them for this long period of time without contacting her. She was very concerned and believed her sons were in danger. Based on this, we decided to activate the Maile Amber Alert. I'd like to introduce Detective Michael Garcia, who is in charge of the missing person detail.
So that clears a lot of questions. Many of us were wondering, why did it take so long? If they were last seen Sunday, why did it take so long? All those questions. That makes a huge amount of sense now. Okay, we're literally talking about 2 boys who just went out, okay, Sunday evening with, okay, Hanai dad, okay, dad basically. And they were just enjoying time. The next day, we're on our way home. They never show up. Okay, and there's an argument that occurs, further information about potential abuse. Again, I'm saying potential because this is all right now kind of unfolding and emotions and all that. So we don't know, but this is what's being reported. That now I understand why the Amber Alert came. And that, if that happened at 10 a.m., they're saying 10 a.m. is when that information came through. Hey, Robbie, love you, my dear. Mwah, love you. The Amber Alert itself, gang, let me check. The Amber Alert came in on my phone at 12:14. So from the time the mom got information about her boyfriend possibly hitting one of her children to the time that the Amber Alert went into effect was just over 2 hours. That's actually pretty impressive for them to do all the research and stuff they needed to do. So really happy about that right now. And I'll try to keep updates on the screen for you guys as I hear things.
Good afternoon. Today's Maile Amber Alert activation is a result of 2 years of planning and preparation, utilizing upgraded notification procedures in line with national trends. Within 5 minutes after issuing the WEA alert, the wireless emergency alert, Shane Santos reached out to his ex-girlfriend and agreed to meet with missing persons investigators. This is the first time we've utilized the system since we implemented the upgrades. Upon receiving the notification of a missing persons, We get notified of all missing persons cases on Oahu. Prompt and immediate investigation is conducted. The facts and circumstances that were not presented during the initial investigation were discovered later, and as Lieutenant Tamis mentioned, which is the reason why the Amber Alert activation was activated. Just to remind the public of the activation criteria, okay? The child must be 17 years of age or younger. Okay? There must be sufficient information to indicate that the child has been abducted and is in immediate danger of serious bodily injury or death. Sufficient information is available about the child and the abductor and or the abductor's vehicle. Okay? After review of the facts and information, a Maile Amber Alert was authorized. The activation was authorized. Internal and external notifications were made. A flyer was created and uploaded to X, formerly known as Twitter.
Pausing it there real quickly for you guys. First of all, Maile Alert. I put it on the screen because a lot of people are wanting to know what a Maile Alert is. Robbie, we actually had what's called on the mainland, an Amber Alert. Here, it's a Maile, M-A-I-L-E alert. Yeah, it sounds like Miley Cyrus and all, but that stands for Minor Abducted and Life-Threatening Emergency, Americans Broadcast Emergency Response Alert. Maile also is, Robbie, you specifically might remember this. I mentioned when you guys were getting married, at one point I almost was going to get you guys Maile lays. Okay, those were those real pretty kind of like leaf lay. That's what a Maile, Maile plant is. So Maile is something very well known out here. And we had two boys, aged 10 and 11, who went missing on Sunday. And then today, well, yesterday they were due on their way home. However, they never showed up. And a fight occurred between the Hanai or adopted family, friend, dad, and mom. Today, she got information from a family member saying that this gentleman had hit her son in the face. And now, of course, he was missing with them. So once they got all that information together, and they also knew the vehicle involved and all that, it's like, okay, we can move forward. We can issue an Amber Alert. And what was amazing was that Amber Alert was solved immediately. And you're going to hear in a few seconds, I do know this part of it. They explain what happened and how they came across and were able to find the three so quickly. So moving on with
wireless emergency alert, EAS emergency alert system messages were sent out and the media was notified.
On X.
Okay. Some people were asking about the use of Twitter, why we use that, or it was implemented into our procedures. X, it follows, using X or Twitter follows national trends that are being used currently by other states. Twitter is the only tested social media format that allows open access to the public, meaning that a person does not have to have an account during an alert activation, Amber Alert activation.
I didn't know that.
Twitter is also able to accommodate the spike in users trying to open the link. Okay. Our research revealed that there was a strong possibility that the HNL Info and other HPD websites would crash during a surge.
That is so sorry I keep stopping you guys on this, but that is impressive that they've looked at that, because we all do know during times like this, you can shut down a platform very quickly. And we here have, just like everyone else, okay, you have your city and county type of pushes. And that's how initially, okay, of course, my mom's phone was going off, my phone, in fact, my brother sent me a message saying, hey, it's time for you to go live and all. And I'm like, oh boy. And, but they knew that all this coming in, it would crash systems. You get this many people, because Honolulu is a pretty big city. And also using X, and I did not know that you did not have to have an account set up with X to actually be able to interact. That's impressive. That they're doing their homework ahead of time, which I really like.
As a secondary notification, the flyer is posted onto the all HPD's social media platforms, meaning HNL info and everything else. So those, but the primary will be Twitter.
My question there, the initial alert went out by text. Everybody got it on their phone.
Correct.
They were saying the initial alert went out by text.
So that's how the system is designed. We do a cancellation on our end of the system, and basically what it does, it just stops the alert from being pushed out in case somebody turns on their phone, or they were charging their phone, or they were in a non-cell service. But the system is designed that it doesn't send a secondary alert for the cancellation.
Hey, Sleuth. This has been really interesting stuff.
Reiterate some of the other improvements since the system was last activated.
Now we've got trained in actually activating the.
What they were talking about there is they're talking so that you know what he's answering right now. Has there been changes in education since the last time it was activated? Because I'll be honest, gang, last time they activated the Amber Alert system in Hawaii, it was not the best. We had people all over the place not getting the alerts. I was one of those that did not get the alert. And so a lot of different things. And as he's already saying, there was a lot of education. Guys, this is what I'm talking about with CPS and the system. It's about after action reports, what worked, what didn't work, and let's see what we can do to make the system better. HPD has done this. And it's so good to see it right now. And
The EAS and WHEEL messages, for one thing. We've also brought in and utilized outside agencies, consulting with former sergeant at the California Highway Patrol, who designed the Amber Alert system, or missing persons alert system, for the entire state of California.
Wow.
And we've also gone to training up in the mainland, Amber Alert training.
I'm impressed.
I'm sorry?
Is the man arrested?
Man arrested?
Was
No.
the man arrested?
No. Right now, the investigation is ongoing. I would defer to Lieutenant Tamer for further questions.
This was, there's a lot of times where there is custodial interference where one parent or a friend of family, whatever, might take kids
Talking
away.
about custodial
So
interference
we
and
get
this
that a
case
lot
like
in this
that.
type. So are you saying that this just escalated to a mining Amber just because of the abuse of them?
Again, the questions to.
So right there, I know it's really hard to hear. There's a lot of, you can tell you got a lot of outside noise. You hear the street, things like that. They're talking about how this was basically a custody interference type of thing. Okay, and does that push? How do you go from that to an Amber Alert? And I know I saw a lot of comments, even on the HPD website while this was going on, from people saying, well, this is just a family member. Why are you guys doing an Amber Alert for a family member and all that? Well, we all know why. We all know that just because it's a mom or a dad or a friend or whatever does not mean that they are safe. And they have to prove before going to the Amber Alert, the Maile Alert, that the child is in imminent danger, which they got at around 10 a.m. this morning when news came in that one of the children may have been struck by the gentleman. Again, I say may have because all that is still probably going to be coming together. But I can tell you they do answer a little bit more.
Lieutenant Themis, but again, it fit the criteria, and that's what we followed.
So sorry, to answer your question, yes, when we found out more information that the child was recently abused and now, he hasn't been home since Sunday, even though we got the report Monday night, yes, we felt that it met the criteria for the Maile Amber Alert.
You mentioned Mr. Santos reached out to the ex and they agreed to meet. Where can they meet or where will they stop?
They were eventually found and located in the Kalihi area.
Okay, here we're going to go into actually what happened. So again, Amber Alert went out. From what we're understanding, the gentleman who was part of this, okay, the guy who actually was with the kids, actually contacted. I don't know if I overheard that correctly, but it sounded like it may have come through X and all, but I'm not sure if that part, we'll hear that in a second. And they had been in the Kalihi area, which is pretty much the area they had left from. So they were in the general vicinity of where they left. And also, we'll go through that. And so we're kind of talking about that side now.
The man, is he still in police custody or what's the status of him?
Custody.
Right now, detectives are interviewing him. That's all part of our investigation. We are setting up to interview the children, but we wanted them to get checked out at the hospital first. So our investigation is ongoing. At this time, he is not arrested yet, but that may change depending on how the investigation goes.
So what charges could he face?
That's going to be part of our investigation. I mean, you could go custodial, but there is no paperwork. We'd have to verify there's paperwork for custodial interference. There's possibly an abuse case, an endangering case. These are all different types of cases that we have to look at.
How much of a role, if any, did public tips help in bringing this to a resolution?
I think at that time, I think within 5 minutes we learned, I think the public did. We had received a couple calls of previous sites of him. So that was part of it as well. So I think it was a combination of everyone's assistance.
In 5 minutes.
Have you been able to find out why the dog waited? It sounds like she waited a day to call police and let them know that the boyfriend went out with his kids.
Around the day, yeah, a little bit longer than 24 hours. That's part of the investigation as far as why she waited.
James.
But moving forward, I do want to just take a moment to thank the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, the State Department of Transportation, Amanda Leonard from the Hawaii National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and all of the public for your assistance. The cooperative efforts from everyone involved has helped us in locating William and Raymond safely. Okay, I think that's all we have for now. Thank you.
Question, can you just confirm the last time this was activated was, I think it was 2022 with Michaela Davina? Was there any other?
No, that wasn't the Honolulu Police Department. We've never activated the new system. The last activation was on the old system in 2005, I believe, for Oahu. Okay?
And that's what I mean. I mean, serious, 2022, there was an alert activation, but I think it was on the Big Island. And that was the one that was a mess. I mean, some people were getting it, some people weren't getting it. They're like, oh no, Oahu should have gotten it, but not everyone did. It was a mess. Last time, I don't know if you guys just picked that up. The last time Oahu had an Amber Alert was 2005. 20 years, gang. This is not normal. That's why, yeah, Sleuth, we don't get many of these. That's why I told both Sleuth and Seal, I was sitting there doing the posters and my hands were shaking because this is not normal for us at all. And especially after Gianna lately and Ariel's case kind of picking up with the unsealing of the documents and all. It was like, oh my gosh, what else is going to happen? But to then find out it's been 20 years since they activated the system, and that was the old system. They had information leading them to Raymond and his brother within 5 minutes. That is just hands down.
We just went out on Oahu or statewide?
Oahu. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think that's the end of that. Just make sure no one pops in last minute. Nope, no one's going to pop in last minute on that. So, yeah, gang, this is, and the reason why I wanted to share first of all, I know a lot of people wanted to know what had happened with that Amber Alert this morning because it happened so quick. It was like, wait, did I just see an Amber Alert or not? But I also wanted to show this is what can happen when an agency looks at their programs and tries to find ways to improve their programs. HPD, I mean, amazing work. Okay, they didn't sit there and say, okay, you know what? We're Hawaii, we're different. Trust me, Hawaii is different. I'm one of the first ones. I used to say this all the time in healthcare. You don't understand. Hawaii is different. It's a different animal completely. Yeah, we're different, but we still can learn from others. So HPD went so far as to go to someone who had helped California set up their system and asked for help, realizing asking for help is not admitting fault or failure or anything like that. It's trying to make your system better. And that's what we need to be doing across the board in so many areas. But the area we've been talking about lately, of course, is our children and the system. Now, with that, this wasn't going to be a real long live or anything like that. I really wanted just to play that for you guys. I do want to at least remind everyone real quickly about tomorrow. For those of you who are in Honolulu or on Oahu, tomorrow at 4 p.m. at the Capitol, we are all going to be meeting. We're going to be wearing red, and we are going to be walking for Gianna. We're going to walk in her footsteps. Okay, we're going to honor her, and we're going to say that this has to stop. We need to take the future of our children seriously. So that's happening tomorrow at 4 p.m. For those of you here on YouTube land, Facebook land, Twitch land, we will be, in fact, I've been talking with Sleuth and all, and unless something changes, I am going to try to go live from the walk. And so you guys can all be there in spirit, as Thea just said. You guys can be there by either watching and commenting, by sharing her poster out, by lighting a candle and saying a prayer. I can tell you one thing I've noticed in trying to communicate with family members and all that is the depth of faith. Okay, so prayers, sending energy in that direction, however you do it. Okay, you're honoring her in that way. So after that, Sleuth and I usually meet on our Wednesday get-togethers. We will be doing that. We're kind of trying to figure things out because the time that we normally start is usually in Sleuth. If you're still there, you can add in any thoughts you have on it too. But I think the thought is I'm going to most likely go live first and see if my phone and my connection will handle a live stream. And then once things calm down and I can get off into a quiet area, Sleuth and I are going to continue our live over on her channel. And so I hope you guys join us for that tomorrow. In the meantime, please help me share out her stuff. The more we share, guys, unfortunately, Ariel and Gianna aren't with us anymore. It's not like an Amber Alert or something. You may let me on panel. See, no, I've got to grease the monkey a little. No, I love you, Steve. And but yeah, no, this isn't like an Amber Alert where we're posting pictures and names and stuff like that to bring them home. That's what we do during the Amber Alerts. That's what we do when we're getting the word out. This one's different. These two are not going to be coming home in the way that they did before. Yes, I am hoping we can get Ariel and find where she is so her family has a place to go and be with her in the same way all of us who've lost loved ones can be with our loved one. But we need you to speak up in a different way. This time you're speaking up to say enough is enough. This can't keep happening. Okay, plain and simple. No more of this bull crap. No more of all of this stuff going on. And I'm trying to right now pull up the link where some of you guys can join us in our group. Okay, where we're talking about both these cases and what needs to be done. Let me share that in chat right now. That is the Facebook group where you guys can come over and be part of the discussion and the push. You know what? We have 50 states where the system needs to be looked at. Hawaii is one of them. And you know what? That's fine. We can work one state at a time. If that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. So say their name, be the squeaky wheel, because if you're the squeaky wheel, they can't forget about her. Okay? How many people have I heard recently saying, "Oh, I forgot about Ariel. Oh, did she die?" I've literally had people saying, "Wait, did she die? Oh, yeah, but those adopted parents, they're in jail, okay, for the rest of their life." They don't know that first of all, Ariel's never been found, and second of all, that her parents are still, well, parents, her adopted parents are still awaiting trial. Enough is enough. Family still don't have answers. Enough is enough. Gianna's family is now joining in on this whole thing. They are having to deal with all of these questions. Yeah, sleuth. Exactly. Okay, they still have control of her. The people that killed Ariel have control over her siblings. If a sibling wants to do something and they don't want it done, they speak up and say, "No, no, no, we don't approve of that." No, enough is enough. Plain and simple, guys. Enough is enough. Our children have rights. Us adults have rights. But guess what? A child's rights are no less important than an adult's. So when you're speaking up, when you're sharing the lives that people are doing, whether it's sleuth, I know Tim's been on some panels about Ariel. Okay, myself, PJ. When you're sharing stories about these children who were failed by the system, you are helping in being that squeaky wheel that's going to say, we are not going to stand by any longer. We're not going to let another child be forgotten and only remembered when the next child is taken by the system. And I'm sorry, I've gone off a deep end here, but I'm tired of this. What changes in the world could have happened if we had Ariel and Gianna in it? What amazing things might have happened in the future? Whose lives may have been changed because of that? We all know people who that one person made the difference in someone else's life. Whose life will not be made a difference because now they don't have Ariel or Gianna to make it? No. Yeah. We're not going to trust the judgment of people who killed a child. And yes, I know they're innocent until proven guilty. But you know what? Read the evidence. Just read the evidence. The problem is a lot of people don't want to read the evidence because you don't want to see that evil like that can actually exist. And it does exist. And it is evil. So sorry guys, went off the deep end there. It's just frustrating, but please say her name, light a candle. Join us over on Sleuths and myself tomorrow as we go walking in honor of Gianna. And I will update you on that. And I'm hoping we have a huge turnout, but we'll take whatever. Because sometimes, even if it's a small group, the smallest group, trust me, I've got a loud voice. Okay. When you've been in theater, you learn how to project. And my voice cannot, anyone who knows me knows my voice can be as loud as 3 or 4 different people at the same time. And so it's not pretty, but it is very true. So love each and every one of you guys. I'll let y'all know what's happening with things. If anyone has any messages you would like to pass on to Gianna's family, and I'll if you email those to me, I just thought of this, gang, and I hope it works out. But if anyone would like to, email them to me at thelocalmylife@gmail.com. I'll print them out. I'll print them out. As long as I get them before I leave tomorrow, I will print them out. I'll black out your emails unless you don't want me to or anything like that. And I will hand them over to family members tomorrow so that they know that they're not alone and people are praying for them. So if you have a message you'd like to share, please consider emailing me. If you know me through Messenger or whatever, you can do it that way also. Love each and every one of you, and I will talk to you later. Au revoir. Aloha. Guys, mahalo and amazing, amazing freaking work, HPD. So proud of you guys. Bye bye.